Hello student, myself Mrs. Bhattad KS. In this video, I will take a review on water unit, that is third unit of our syllabus. Water is the most useful part of our life. That is, we can't imagine life without water. And rain is the major source of water for us, which we use from well, river, lake, etc. There are certain impurities associated with water like suspended impurities, dissolved impurity. Dissolved impurity includes mineral salt and gases, colloidal impurities and biological impurities. Now, the water which we use from different source have different hardness. So the term arises, that is hard water. So what is meant by hard water? Remember guys, the water which form good lather with soap is soft water, whereas the water which does not form lather with soap is hard water. Means the water which consists of more dissolved salt have difficulties in forming lather with soap, and hence it is hard water. So who makes water hard? In short, we will discuss causes of hardness of water. That is, when rain falls, then it flows through rock, and during its flow, it comes in contact with rock containing calcium and magnesium. So some of the salt tend to dissolve directly in rainwater, and the salt which doesn't dissolve in rainwater, they tend to dissolve in H2CO3, carbonic acid, which form when carbon dioxide from air dissolve in water. Hence, water which is flowing through earth or flowing on earth becomes hard. There are two types of hardness: temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is the hardness which is removed just by boiling, whereas the hardness which is not removed by boiling is permanent hardness. Remember guys, the carbonates of calcium and magnesium, that is bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, gives temporary hardness to water, whereas sulfates and chlorides of magnesium and calcium gives permanent hardness to water. We can measure hardness of water, that is by using these two methods, soap solution method and EDTA method. Through EDTA method we have gone through practical. That is, in practical hour we have discussed EDTA method, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid method by using EBT indicator. Now, water, if it is hard, and same hard water if we are using for industry, then it causes certain problem. Basically, industry utilizes water from boiler, that is, it generates steam, and after condensation of steam, the water obtained is distilled water, and distilled water is used for various purposes in industry. If boiler feed water is hard, then it causes number of problems like boiler corrosion, and if there is boiler corrosion, then life of boiler decreases rapidly due to dissolved gases, salt, or varying pH of water. There is boiler corrosion. Second problem due to hard water in boiler is caustic embrittlement. That is, in boiler, to soften water, the boiler feed water is continuously mixed with Na2CO3, sodium carbonate, and due to use of sodium carbonate for softening, there result in formation of NaOH, caustic soda, and from NaOH result in caustic embrittlement. Next problem arise is priming and foaming. Priming is nothing but entry of small water droplet in steam, and foaming is nothing but formation of consistent foam on the surface of water, due to which we are unable to judge height of water in boiler. Priming can be avoided by using suitable filters, whereas foaming can be reduced by using anti-foaming agent or the material like castor oil. One more important problem arises due to use of hard water is scale and sludge formation inside the wall of boiler. Scale is a hard adherent coating, whereas sludge is loose slimy coating at the inner walls of boiler. Remember, scales are formed due to carbonates, sulfates, silicates, phosphates and oxides of calcium and magnesium, whereas sludges are formed due to calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate and magnesium carbonate. Remember, when we tend to boil water inside a container or inside utensils at our home, at that time also we observe certain layer inside the container or inside the utensil. That layer goes on thickening, and that is nothing but a type of scale or sludge. If thickness of scale and sludge goes on increasing, then it creates number of issues in boiler. Hence, we will take a glance on disadvantage of scale and sludge formation at the inner walls of boiler. First, wastage of fuel. Due to formation of scale and sludge, we need to use more amount of fuel to have constant speed of velocity of steam, and hence more amount of fuel is wasted. Next one is formation of scale or sludge reduces safety of boiler, that is overheating of boiler may cause explosion. Due to thickening of scale and sludge, efficiency of boiler goes on decreasing, and hence overall problem arises shortening life of boiler. Our main part of water is water softening, that is conversion of hard water into soft water. In our syllabus, we are having these three methods: lime soda process, zeolite process and ion exchange process. First one, lime soda process. The name itself indicates that for this or in this method we are using two chemical, lime and soda. The process is performed in two way in hot condition or in cold condition. Furthermore, in hot also it can be performed either in batch or in continuous, and same is the case with cold. Either it can be performed in batch or in a continuous. Remember guys, in case of hot, the input water is hot water with the temperature 80 to 100 degrees centigrade, whereas in case of cold condition or cold process, the temperature of water is room temperature. In lime soda process, bicarbonates and carbonates are removed by lime, whereas sulfates and chlorides are removed by soda. And overall, to make water soft, we require both chemical, lime as well as soda. Hence the name is lime and soda. Now next one is zeolite, or you may call it as permuted process. It is shown by Na2Z or Na2P. These zeolites and permutates are complex inorganic compound with formula Na2Al2Si2O6.6H2O. In this zeolite or permutate, sodium ion is exchangeable, hence they can be represented as Na2Z or Na2P. Remember guys, when we allow hard water to pass through zeolite or permitted column, then calcium or magnesium present in hard water exchange with sodium from permitted. Hence, the water coming out of column will be free from calcium and magnesium and will have hazardless, harmless sodium ion with them. The process is having advantage that it removes 100% of calcium and magnesium ion, whereas simultaneously the process is having disadvantage too, that it doesn't think of anion. It removes only cation, calcium and magnesium, but it doesn't think of anion like chloride, sulfate, carbonates, bicarbonates, etc. Furthermore, the permitted and zeolite are easy to use. Once they are exhausted, they can be easily regenerated by using brine solution. Brine solution is 10% sodium chloride. Now we are moving for next method, that is ion exchange or demineralization or deionization process for water softening. In this method, a particular resins are used. The resins are shown by the formula RH2 and ROH2. If the resins exchange cation, then they are called as cation exchanger, and if they exchange anion, then they are anion exchanger. In this case, water is first allowed to pass through cation exchanger, in which calcium magnesium ion are exchanged with hydrogen, and later on water is cation free water is allowed to pass through anion exchanger, in which anion from water are exchanged with OH. Hence, water from cation have H plus, that is acidic water, which when passes anion exchanger consists of OH, and this combination H plus OH minus gives H2. This is the method which removes all minerals, like if it consists of calcium sulfate, then calcium is removed in cation exchanger and sulfate is removed in anion exchanger. Hence, cation as well as anion is removed. Hence, the method is called as demineralization or deionization method. The obtained water is soft water with even zero hardness. This is the only method which gives us highly soft water. Now, next part of unit is water treatment. In this we are discussing municipal water treatment, that is potable water, the water which is fit for drinking, and next is wastewater treatment. Thank you guys. We'll continue in next video.